What's up, guys? This is my response to Matthew's top 10 post. Pretty tough. It's really hard to pick just 10. But anyway, I'll start with this card. Pretty basic, but one of my all-time favorite cards here. This 94 Leaf Gold Stars. I have 15 or so more laying around in my office that I've yet to put in here, but the story behind this, why it's my favorite card, 94. I remember seeing the ads in Beckett for this card, and this was on the cover page, this exact card, and I was like, man, I gotta have it. Anyway, I went to the shop the day that it released, and my shop got 2 cases of the 94 Leaf, and there was a bunch of us in there breaking boxes of it, and we got 3, and we only pulled, while we were there, we pulled a Baerga out of one box and a Justice, of course, like the 2 worst ones. But anyway, while we were breaking our box or whatever, a guy behind us, is fist pumping, and I got it, and sure enough, turned around, that guy pulled a Frank out of his, and I was just devastated. I just remember staring at the card just in total awe, and my dad asked him if he was willing to sell it, and he said, no, I want it for my personal collection. Everyone at the time wanted this card, or the Griffey, obviously. But a few days later, I want to say maybe a week, 2 weeks later, my dad came home with a pack of 94 Ultra, because he would always pick me up packs if he stopped by the gas station or a drugstore or whatever. And I opened the pack. I just go to my room or whatever, and I opened the pack, and I was going through, just sifting. All of a sudden, I see the edge of this, shiny stuff. I'm like, ooh, I got to insert. So I peeled the card on top of it off, and it was this card. And I was so confused. I knew this card was obviously not an Ultra. But anyway, I looked at my dad, and he's like, yeah, I got it for you. So what he did is the card shop owner had contacted him a few days later, I guess, at his work, and let him know that the guy was willing to sell it. So my dad had went and bought the card and opened that pack of Ultra and slid it in there and resealed it. So pretty cool. Probably one of the best memories I have as far as cards go. I was so stoked to get this card. But anyway, pretty cool story. And like I said, I got a bunch more laying around somewhere in this office, but I don't feel like digging it out right now. Anyway, I guess that's card number 1. Anyway, this is my 90s box. Only serial numbered in here. Everything in a clip case, one touch is mostly 100 or less for the most part. Anyway, let's go with number 2. Obviously, this has to be on people's top list. Iconic card. The way I finally got one of these is I was at a show, San Francisco 2006, and actually Frank Thomas was there. This is when he was with the A's, and he was signing. And I went up to a booth, and I had just moved, just fresh out of college, had just moved here to California from Florida. Didn't have much money, I think I brought, maybe $200 with me, and that was, at the time for me, that was, pushing it. And I went up to a booth, and a guy, he had pretty much, I think, the whole set and doubles of 9. That's all he had in one case was 93 Finest Refractors, and he had 2 of these. And I'm thinking, before I even ask him a price, there's no way I'm gonna afford it. And I asked him how much for the Thomas, and he says, how about $50? And I was stunned, because at the time I think it was selling around 100. And he had 2 of them, so I said, hey, how about, would you do both for 80? And he didn't flinch, and he's like, sure, sold. So real good price, got 2 of these for $80. Can't beat that. I eventually sold my other one dirt cheap, probably 3 years down the line after the show, for I think $125. I really wish I would have held on to it, but at the time I needed the money for another card, so oh well. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, I'm going to go with, let's see, 98 Retro Quantum Leap. was a dream card for a long time. It was #1 on my list before it popped up on eBay. And this was anything opposite of a steal. At the time, I meant to bid. I think I won this maybe 4 or 5 years ago, probably 5 years ago. I meant to bid 200, and I accidentally put in $2,000, and it ended. I think I ended up paying like almost $375 for this card, which back then was just out of control. But and I think I was shilled. Pretty sure I was shilled with that auction, but oh well, glad to have it. That's card number 3. We'll go with number 4. 98 Bones Best mirror or fusion atomic refractor out of 25. Another all-time iconic card in my opinion. And I think this is the best card in this set. Has 2 stars on it, which most of them have, a star and a person that never panned out. I was pretty surprised at how cheap I got this card, because I think it could go pretty big if it hit online these days. So that's card number 4. Number 5. 97 Thomas Collection. Sweet patch there. Took me a long time to get any of these cards, but I have to thank Rodney for getting a hold of this card. He put me in contact with a guy to get it. Actually, Rodney probably hooked me up with a good portion of what you see in here, so big thanks to him. Cool dude. But yeah, this is one of the great sets. I only have one other of this. I have the bat version, which I got, right here. I have the bat version. It's 2 plain, no logo or anything on it. So that would be card number 5 for me. Oh, number 6. I think I'm gonna have to go with the 97 embossed, another iconic insert / refractor. Has to be on anyone's top list, and I've actually, since I acquired the first one, I've actually come in contact with 4 of these over the years, which pretty tough. I mean, pretty rare card. And I'll come back to this card in a little bit. So that's card number 6. Number 7, I'll go with the 98 Select Rare Form non-released bankruptcy deal. This came out with that big batch of all the bankruptcies that hit, I think, back last October, if I remember correctly, but I had to have this one. Pretty steep price, but beautiful card. I mean, if this was numbered, it'd be even sweeter, but have to go with that for number 7. Number 8, another iconic, the 98 metal PMG. Was on my want list for years. Didn't think I'd ever own one, and guy on Blowout hit me up and said I knew he had it for years and years, and I kept bugging him about it, and he finally contacted me and said, hey, I'd like you to own it. You're a big Thomas collector, and I'd like you to own it. So real happy to get that. And I actually hit this one on a side story in a group break over on Freedom Cardboard about 6 years ago. So that was pretty sweet to hit that in a group break. Pretty damn lucky on that one. So that's number 8. Number 9. One of the most, if not the most, aside of, I would say, Red Crusade iconic inserts, 96 Select Certified Mirror Gold. Got this from in a big trade with Mike Weirs on. He's in the group. Never ever thought I'd get this. Real happy to get this. Really would like to get the gold of this version, Pastime Power. That'd be nice, but not holding my breath. But definitely has to be in everyone's top list for their player, I'd assume. So that'll be number 9. And number 10, is my all-time favorite card. Huge score when I got this from my buddy Matt. He hooked me up, real great deal. I had wanted this forever and ever. Another one I just thought there was no chance. I didn't think I'd ever even see one pop up. But oh, big thanks to Matt Thomas Baker. He's in the group as well for this. So stoked to have it. Gorgeous card in person. I mean, one of the best looking cards in my opinion out there. So that would be number 10, but my most favorite for sure, easily, is this card. And my biggest steal, it's so hard. I mean that 93 for, finest refractor could be, it's up there, but I'd say percentage wise is I don't have the exact card, but I scored a PSA 10 of these probably 6 years ago or so. PSA 10 gem mint of this for $29.99, free shipping online on eBay. I couldn't believe it when I saw it pop up. I mean, I thought it was too good to be true, but it was 4 sharp corners, which is, I mean, to get huge sellers. So, I mean, I knew they were legit sellers, but I was afraid at the time that someone was going to see that completed listing and, you know, offer them $600-700 for it, you know. And but at that night, I mean, they updated the shipping label and everything, and it made me feel good until the next morning once I saw it processed through the whatever their local post office. I was super stoked, and so definitely my best deal. I mean, there's so many in here that I've basically gotten free through deals, you know, where I bought big lots or whatever and sold the rest and got a lot of them for free. I mean, bunch of steals, you know. I mean, I could go on and on, but this is my top steal for sure. So anyway, that's my top 10. Looking forward to seeing all the rest of your top 10s. Later.